evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get the certificate. Okay. And then reminder also 50 OLETE certificates equivalent to 1 voucher for a free medical consultation, telemedical. Okay, so let's now have a group picture taking before we start the question and answer portion. Okay. Let's have page 1. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Saving. Page 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so the floor is now open for questions, interactions, suggestions, comments, etc., etc. Okay, so any questions? Are there? Okay. So we'll have ready? Are there questions already? Not yet.
Wala pang questions po.
Okay. So while we're waiting for, you can ask your questions by raising your hands. Okay. Okay. Chuchi is raising her hands already. Chuchi, unmute yourself.
Yes.
Unmute. Okay.
Unmute na ba?
Yeah.
Unmute.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. You were saying that those in remission, more or less, the cancer cells are hiding. Can they hide? And how long can they hide?
When you say hiding, it's somewhere there.
Oh, cannot see them. I mean, yeah, anywhere.
We cannot detect them even with the best diagnostic test. No, we cannot see them. No, okay. So when you say hiding, no, we just use the word hiding. That unnoticed lang. It's there. No, it's not evident. It's not producing any symptoms. It's not showing itself to us. Okay, because probably of the limitation of the diagnostic test. No? All diagnostic tests have limitations. Example, a breast ultrasound can only detect a breast cancer which is 1 centimeter or bigger. If it's less than 1 centimeter, no, it's not very reliable. No? So ganun din sa mga CT scan. No? If it's less than 1 centimeter, no, usually it's hard to, it will be reported as negative. No? Okay, wala, pero it's still there. No? Okay, but we don't really know when it's there or not. Yan ang tanong. That's the problem. No?
Okay. Okay. Another, because sometimes when we have a bukol, no?
Yeah. Yes.
During my lifetime, sometimes merong bukol somewhere, but if it's not growing, then it's not cancer. Ganon?
No.
Is that?
Okay. So if it's not, if there's a bukol, you have to diagnose it right away, whether it's cancer or not. No? Okay. So the behavior, the initial behavior, the behavior of a non-cancer and cancer might be the same initially. No? Sa umpisa. No? Mabagal. No? Mabagal lumaki, steady lang siya. But the moment that tumor start spreading to the lymph nodes, no, to the distant organs, that differentiate it now from the non-cancer. Okay, so yeah, so we distinguish a buccal in terms of benign and malignant, in terms of whether it's invades or it spread. Now, so initially it might be difficult to say which is which just based on the behavior. Okay, so the characteristics of the mass based on physical examination by the doctors plus the signs now will give the clue. So I'll give you an example. If I think I've done this before. If there is a breast mass, okay, sabi mo bukol, no? Breast mass. Let's just focus on the breast now. There is a breast mass which has been there for 2 years, no? Okay, and then you have to diagnose it right away, whether it's benign or malignant. You don't wait for it to behave. To look what will happen to that mass, whether it will grow bigger or not. Okay. So, but at the time of the examination, if the buccal is already cystic, parang may fluid, no, you can already say, oh, it's benign. No? Okay. So, right away, it's benign. No? So, it doesn't go into the behavior of a cancer. But if the mass is solid and then border niya, it's not so well defined because it's infiltrating the surrounding tissues, now, you can now say that most likely it's cancer. Okay. Or if there is lymph nodes, accompanying lymph nodes on the axilla, then you can say that probable cancer nito. Okay. Higher chance. No. Okay. So you don't wait for the behavior of the cancer to distinguish whether it's benign or malignant. No. Okay. Probably it can be done, but as a last priority. But you have to do the first priority first. The first priority is to evaluate the mass, now whether it's cancer or not. No? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Who else? Who else?
Doc. Question from Evelyn Yu.
Okay.
How about Petscan? Hindi rin accurate? Question mark.
Okay. So remember, okay, the general rule to remember is nothing is perfect in this world. Okay, nothing is also perfect in medicine. Nothing is perfect in the medical test. Okay, just like this morning, I just read an article which I posted on my Facebook because I've been telling you. For those who are attending the PEP talk, I've been emphasizing that medicine is an inexact science, not perfect. So this morning, I was reading the vaccines against COVID. So they put a statement there. Okay, no vaccine is 100% effective. No? Okay. So just remember that general rule. Nothing is perfect. No? Petscan, kahit na yung pinakamahal, pinakamodern, is not perfect. No? Okay. I hope I answer your question, Evelyn. Thank you for that question also because that's the most common perception of especially, I can say, Filipino population. If they see something being popularized, di ba? Sasabihin ng mga hospital, maganda ito, maganda ito, maganda ito. No? So you tend to kakagat naman kayo, di ba? Okay. So not knowing that there's also a limitation there. No?
Okay.
Any more?
Is it true that cancer likes and eats sweets or sugar?
Okay.
Is it true? Hi, Doc. This is from Chris N. Is it true that cancer likes and eats sweets, does sugar?
No. Okay, that's not true. Sabi natin, the current state of knowledge is still gene mutation. Gene mutation ng ano.
Gene mutation.
Okay. Yet in the end, that's the end point. No? Gene mutation. How will cancer cause the gene mutation? The sweets, the sugar? I don't know. Okay. Most likely not. Huh? Okay. So,
Another
but again, as I said, medicine so inexact. We don't know a lot of things. The best approach is to healthy lifestyle. Okay, eat anything. Everything is poisonous to us. Whatever we eat, whatever air we breathe. Now, everything should be controlled. Everything should be done in moderation. Okay, so don't eat too much sweet. Don't eat too much sugar. Okay. So it's not only breast cancer that can be associated with excess this thing, not excess food, no, but also other diseases. Okay, excess sugar, excess sweet, no. Okay, eat in moderation na lang, ha? Okay. Anything else?
Another question from Meli Ngo. Doc, are tumor markers accurate and can be used as basis to detect cancer? Thanks, Doc.
Okay, the same answer that I made for Evelyn, no? Okay, they are not 100% accurate all the time, okay? So that's why we have to know what are the indications, okay? So can it be used as a basis to detect cancer? Okay, so we don't usually use tumor markers as a starter, no, to detect tumor, to detect cancer. No, we use other types of screening tests. Example, sa breast, no, you use mammography as a screening. If you have to use, if you have to screen your breast, no. Now, if you want to screen a liver cancer, then you can use a tumor marker, but usually you can also use the ultrasound as a screening tool for detecting liver cancer. Okay, so may mga pros and cons, no? You can use it. That's why sabi ko dun sa aking BRCA, benefit risk cost and availability analysis, put there the options. No, depending on the situation, which one are you after? What specific cancers are you looking at, concerned with? Then you put down the list. Is tumor markers the best for this cancer, or is there the ultrasound is better? Okay, mammography is better. All these things, no? Okay. So I'm not saying that there's no place for tumor markers, but at the moment, it's not the first priority. Okay.
There are 3 questions in a row.
Okay.
First, from Jeanette Yu, what are the most common cancer causing chemicals that most people are not aware of?
Chemicals, of course, we're not aware of. Yung mga cigarette, yung mga nicotine, that's also chemicals, di ba? Okay, so we're all aware of that. Okay, so what are the other cancer cause chemicals? At the moment, I cannot really answer your questions. There are a lot, no? Okay. So people are not aware of.
Okay.
So ngayon, marami dyan may potential. That's why I said everything that we eat, anything that we breathe, no, are potential for causing problems. No? So try to avoid them if you can. No? Okay. So eat in moderation and try to avoid them. No? Okay. Yun na lang ang rules I follow. Kasi mahirap sabihin na very specific. Except for the smoking, di ba? Smoking, the nicotine there is causing a lot of problems. Okay, but for the others, chemicals, I cannot really pinpoint one notorious one at the moment. No? Okay.
Okay po.
Hanapin ko Jeanette mamaya.
Next question po from Jackie Tong. Apart from going for a breast ultrasound and mammogram as a regular regimen for women, when we go for regular blood tests, are there any cancer markers we can test for? Example, CA125.
Isa kayo ni Kaputon. Singapurian kami.
Pakimute lang po.
Pakimute lang ho.
Ito dito. Ha?
Okay, mute Lenny. Okay, so okay, let me answer it this way, Jackie. Now, okay, there are a lot of tests that you will be hearing, okay, in the literature, in the internet, and especially and also those promoting their businesses. Okay, but we always go by the guidelines, now based on evidences. Okay, so if you're going to screen for breast cancer at the moment, now, okay, aside from the breast self-examination as part of the screening for breast cancer, and also the physician examination is also another tool of screening. And then in terms of gadgets, no, at the moment, what is recommended is mammography only, no, mammography, no, okay, because there are evidences that shows that it has improved the survival of patients with cancer, no, but tumor markers are not being used, no, okay, are not being used. But of course, you can hear a lot of hospitals, clinics now promoting that, no, okay, CA125, because the reason why they're not promoting that, because they're most of the time you won't be able to detect the breast cancer using the tumor markers, especially in its early stage. No? Okay. Kaya hindi siya sinasuggest. No? Okay. Okay.
Okay po. Next question from Evelyn Yu. If radiation can cause breast cancer, is it not safe to have annual chest X-ray for annual PE? How about dental X-rays? Does MRI produce radiation?
Okay. So theoretically, as I said, theoretically, all of these are carcinogens, no? Cancer-causing X-ray, no? During annual chest X-ray, dental X-ray, CT scan, okay, mammography, okay? Kaya may maraming issues yan, discussions, no? But we always, the thing to go by is we try to balance the benefit and the risk, the benefit and the risk of doing it, no? Suppose you really need a chest X-ray, although there is a risk, but you need it, so you have to go for it, no? Okay, so the risk is there, as I said kanina. I have a slide kanina. Even though you have a risk, it doesn't mean that you're going to have it, diba? Okay, it might be in the low dose range that it's not really causing problem. Parang pag kumakain tayong, let's say, something, yung mga pagkain, pag sumobra, no? So, mahirap na i-control. But if you eat a little, kahit na poisonous siya, it will be metabolized. It will just disappear. Diba? Okay? It will be resolved. No? So, in dental X-ray, annual chest X-ray, usually, even mammography, they say that low dose lang naman yan eh. Low dose lang. So, no problem. No? Okay. But theoretically, it's possible that you can have especially yung mga patients with genetic predisposition to develop cancer caused by radiation. As I said, people are different. May mga tao na konting X-ray lang, baka cancer na. Okay? Okay. But majority do not develop into, do not have this problem of cancer coming out because of X-ray. No? But if you keep on repeating the X-rays, okay, then you may get into trouble. Okay. Okay. Just to extend my answer to this question, Evelyn, I'll be talking on thyroid cancer after this session. No, we still have 2 sessions for breast cancer, but after the breast, we'll be talking on thyroid. No, so the risk factors for thyroid cancer is radiation to the neck. Okay, so in the past, that's the most common risk factors for thyroid cancer, radiation to the neck. Okay, so in the past, radiation has been used to treat tonsillitis, to treat acne, yung mga pimples, di ba? In the past yun, okay? So it has been shown that it can produce a lot of cancer on the thyroid. Na? Kaya hindi na masyadong ginagawa yon. Na? Okay. Does MRI produce radiation? Usually hindi. They use magnetic resonance. No? Okay. Usually hindi. It's CT scan ang meron. No? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Another question po from Belet del Rosario. Doc, can radiation from television and mobile phones cause cancer?
Okay. Possible. Kaya i-avoid lang natin, ha? Okay? So yung mga sinasabi na charging, when you charge your mobile phone, huwag masyadong malapit sa iyo sa gabi, na ilayo ninyo, okay? Then yung mga tawag doon, oven, what do you call that? What do you call that when you cook, oven, o yung forget the name, yung quick heat. Quick heating.
Microwave.
Microwave, di ba? Okay. So maraming yan, may maraming possible possibilities. So try to avoid as much as possible. Okay.
Okay. This is a comment from Maria Pustapolotan. Some chemicals linked to cancer are talc. That is the main ingredient in talcum powder, and asbestos that used to be found in ceiling materials.
Yeah, asbestos, tama. Asbestos. No? Okay. Marami. No? Okay, thank you for that. No? Okay. So try to avoid.
Doc, yun pong kanina yung is ductal carcinoma the same as, yung meron kayo sinabing adenocarcinoma? Pareho ba yun?
Ductal and lobular carcinoma are usually, okay. Yung ductal cells saka lobular cells are, what do you call that? We call that epithelial cells, no? Gland cells, not lining, not connective tissue, no? So gland cells of the gland, no, ganon, secreting something, or epithelial for the tube, yung lobules, yung isa lobules is a duct, di ba? Yung duct parang isang tube lang siya, di ba? So lining yon, no? So it's not the what we call connective tissue, no? So ang lumalabas doon, it's a carcinoma, no? Okay, that's sarcoma, no? And then if if it arises from the lobules or from the duct, lobules, those producing milk, di ba? So, pinaka part of the breast producing milk. The ducts are the one which channel the milk from the lobules to the outside, di ba? Okay, so these are the cells there are the so-called epithelial cells, no? Okay. And then, so the cancer arising from there is what we call adenocarcinoma. Adenocarcinoma.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be squamous, no? But the most common is adenocarcinoma. And then those arising from the connective tissue, yung mga in between the lobules, in between lobules and the ducts, you have the blood, you have the blood vessels, you have the yung mga fats, you have the nerves, no? You know. Ang tawag doon, cancer arising from there are usually called sarcomas. Sarcomas ang tawag doon. No? Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Question?
Opo, Doc.
Yes,
Doc. Yes, Doc. Doc, other question. Paano niyo po malalaman na nag-recur ang, kasi sabi niyo kanina, pwedeng mag-recur sa breast and to other parts of the organs or body. So, syempre, kaming on remission, we are on the guard din. Pero paano po namin malalaman kung nagre-recur, kung may recurrence?
Okay. So we're now talking about surveillance, di ba? And, di ba? We have, of course, general yung last time cancer, di ba? We talk about surveillance, na? Surveillance for recurrence, na? So you can do surveillance based on symptom, sign, directed.
Pareho rin. Okay,
Or
okay. Okay
you
po.
can use the battery of tests if you want.
Opo.
No? Screening test. No? Okay. So same principles no? For the breast. Because
Okay.
last time I started with the cancer in general, di ba? I used the basic principles that have that will be used for all types of cancer, di ba? Okay. So next week, surveillance will be under next week, na ba? Okay. Medical management of breast cancer. Probably I'll be talking about it also. No? Surveillance of breast cancer in terms of recurrence. No? So symptom-based, kung anong nararamdaman mo. No? Okay. So basically, for those who have been attending my telemedical conference, I usually ask them 5 questions. Based on symptoms, meron ka bang cough for long period of time, let's say 1 month? No? So if you have cough, you start suspecting spread to the lungs. Okay? Now, if you have headache for 1 month or more, hindi nawawala, you suspect brain metastasis. Then if you have bone pain for a long time, not the arthritis, then you suspect bone metastasis to the bone. Then if you have pain on the right abdomen, upper abdomen, you suspect liver metastasis. These are the most, di ba sabi ko, these are the most common site of distant spread. No? Bone, lungs, brain, and liver. No? Ganon. Then the other thing that you ask for, are there bukol nakakapanyo elsewhere? Okay. Aside from the chest area, sa breast area, are there bukol that you are able to feel outside the breast area? If there's some bukol, it could also be a cue for possible breast cancer. Okay. So kung during the examination, the answer is no, and then during the examination, the doctors do not find any mass, anything unusual, then that means you don't have any clinical evidence of recurrence. No. Okay. Did I answer your questions?
Thank you. Yes, Doc. Kung halimbawa po sa ano naman, sa ears, walang ano yun. Parang, opo, parang may pressure sa ears, tapos sumasakit ang ulo. Is that a sign? Kaya
you have to investigate first kasi medyo malayo, but investigate first baka there's a primary problem on the ear but not related to the brain tumor. No? Okay.
Yes, Doc. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any more?
There are more, another question ho sa chat box from Maria Justa Pulutan. Modern LED and LCD TV screens no longer emit radiation. The old cathode television sets gave off a small amount of radiation. Parang comment lang po. Then from Alice Coronel, is long years of breastfeeding can lead also to aggregate breast cancer?
Breastfeeding,
long years of breastfeeding.
No, it has not been shown to cause breast cancer with breastfeeding. No, okay. It has not been shown. No, okay. So thank you for those comments that you mentioned, Maria Justa. Okay, so kasi ako minimalist lang ako, simple tao lang ako. I don't know those details. No? Okay, but I just look at it this way. Everything is possible carcinogens. No? Okay, so just avoid excessive use, excessive exposure. No? Okay, but thank you for that information. Modern LED, LCD TV seems no longer emit radiations. No? Okay, so let's wait for another few years. Baka may bago na naman may magsasabi, ay, it emits, it causes cancer. Okay, Okay. So in the end, we just have to do everything in moderation. No? Be vigilant na lang. No? Okay. So it's wala na. It's 3:04. Okay. So before we okay. So what I want to really ask you is okay. Applying what we learned today. No? So number one, what is breast cancer? No questions about it. No? Okay? Everybody knows that. Okay? What is, kasi ilan lang lalaki rito? Isa lang yata, dalawa. No? Okay. The rest are females. So all of you have breast, so you know where your breast is. Okay? So breast cancer. Number two, how common? Okay, it's very common in the Philippines, but I cannot really say kung natamaan kayo o hindi. No? Okay. Number three, what's the number three questions? The types. Okay. So, okay. How many? Okay. Quick lang nito. Quick. I don't like to offend anybody. No? This is just to correlate my my lecture. Can you, those who are not shy, can you just raise your hands? How many have breast cancer, history of breast cancer? How many have history of breast cancer? Ladies, can you count? Beth, can you count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ay, yung iba ho, hindi naka-ano naka-video. 6 lang ang nabilang ko.
Okay. So, at least may 6, di ba? Okay. So,
9.
9. Okay, okay lang. I want to go into the nitty-gritty part. Number 2, okay, what is the type of cancer that you have? Okay, we talk about different types, di ba? Okay. So, can you just type it on the chat box? Tingnan natin kung anong pinaka-majority. Can you remember your breast cancer? What? Is it sarcoma, adenocarcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma? Ayan. Application na. Practicum na ito ngayon. Okay. One answer, invasive ductal carcinoma, invasive ductal carcinoma. Okay, dalawa na. Ano pa? Adenocarcinoma. Okay. Tatlo na. Who else? Medullary carcinoma. Wow, okay. Medullary. Okay. Nakita niyo, medullary is one special one. Adenocarcinoma, invasive ductal, background of okay, I'll stop there. Huh? Okay, but you can see that you have to remember the type of your breast cancer. Huh? Okay, majority are adenocarcinoma rather than sarcoma. Okay, number 2, yung mga sarcoma, angiosarcoma, usually hindi tumatagal yon. But yung mga phylloides, malignant phylloides tumor, Paget's disease, no, medyo good prognosis yon, no? Okay. Pero majority, 90% are adenocarcinoma, okay? And then the most common still invasive ductal carcinoma instead of invasive lobular carcinoma. Okay? Yan ang pinaka-common. Invasive ductal carcinoma. You have a special type like isa dyan, medullary carcinoma, tubular carcinoma. Usually good prognosis din yon. No? Good prognosis. Tubular, papillary, medullary. No? Usually good prognosis. Okay? So let's now go to the, how many are ER? We talk about ER, PR negative, right? Are you aware of your status, ER, PR? Sige. Tatandaan ninyo, ha? You go back to that your records, no? Okay, look at your PR, ER status, okay? So in general, I'll jump the gun on for next kasi I think I'll discuss this next time. Pero ER, PR positive, good prognosis. Okay, compared to ER, PR negative. No? Magandang prognosis. Mas maganda. Okay, no, pero no guarantee. No? HER2, new, HER2 positive, pangit. No? Okay, mas pangit. No? Okay, so that's why yung ER-PR kung positive, they give you hormonal therapy. Okay. Now, for the HER2 new, they give you trastuzumab, no? which costs ₱1 million. No? Mahal yun. No? Okay. Then triple negative ER-PR, HER2 new, negative, triple negative, pangit din ang prognosis. That's why they have to undergo chemotherapy. Okay. ER-PR, HER2 positive. Okay. And then, so all of you, okay, in terms of risk factors, have you identified your risk factors? Mahirap, no? Na-identify nyo what led you, what caused your breast cancer? Meron? Who will venture to say that I have identified the cause of my breast cancer? So okay, Chuchi.
Mine is in the family history.
Family history. Okay. So, but not the gene, the inherited gene. No? Okay. Iba yun, ha? Family history. Okay. So even that family history does not mean that if you have a family history of breast cancer, does not always mean that you will have breast cancer. No?
But you know, there are, I don't know how many cousins, first cousins of mine, because I think it started from my grandmother who had breast cancer and she died of breast cancer. But the second generation, her children did not have. It's the third generation that all of us, all the children in the third generation had. In my case, I had it twice. After 36 or 37 years. So very strong yung history.
Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so family history, kasi maraming variation in family history in terms of intensity, no? Okay, number one, if you have one family member who has breast cancer, medyo merong risk factor, may risk, no? Pero mas mahina compared to, let's say, one mother, one sister who had breast cancer, then most likely higher ang risk mo, no? Okay. So in terms of generation also, kung maraming every generations meron, edi mas mataas, no? Okay. But the exact cause, the exact prediction whether one will have breast cancer, even despite the family history, it's not absolutely certain. No? Okay. So in the end, just hope for the best, no? And be on the lookout. No? Nobody can predict. No? Okay. So genetic families. How about other causes? Have you identified obesity? Malakas kayo kumain? Okay. Sinisisi niyo sarili ninyo, malakas kayo kumain, malakas kayo uminom. Okay. 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 So in terms of all of you, I think majority of you have 10. Marami dito ay nakikita ko mga 5 years at least, di ba? Marami dyan, no? Okay. So that's a good prognosis, no? Okay. Any more questions before we call it a day?
The rights, meron pa.
Wala na. Let me ay.
Okay, let's call it a day. So if we have additional questions, you just ask me through the Facebook or through the Viber. No? Okay. So it's 3:14. So next next Saturday, we will have breast cancer again, but this time medical management. No? Ngayon, it's the breast cancer development. No? Next time, it will be breast cancer medical management from the physician's point of view. So again, I will divide it into two parts kasi mahaba eh. Diba? Okay. So first part 1 and part 2. No? Okay. So if there are no more questions, let's call it a day. Thank you. Sandali. Meron ba akong ano? Do I have a poll? Okay. Can you try answering this one? Can you see it before you leave?
Yes, Doc. Okay na makita po.
Okay, no?
Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Done.
Done. Sige. After you're done, you can leave. If you want to stay on for chit-chatting with me, okay lang.